Welcome to The Explainer. You know, online betting is absolutely exploding in Sudan, but there's a huge catch. It's technically illegal. So what's going on? Well, we've sifted through all the top online sources, including our main one, betplace.us, to bring you the real story. We did the reading, so you don't have to. Let's get right into it.
All right, so let's unpack this. On one hand, you've got this massive wave of popularity. I mean, people are loving it, right? It's all thanks to new tech and a serious passion for sports. But then you pull back the curtain and boom, you're looking at a total legal minefield. And honestly, it's that clash, that contradiction, that makes this whole topic so incredibly interesting.
Okay, so first things first, what's actually driving this trend? I mean, how is it getting so popular when it's technically against the law?
So here's the heart of the matter. Under Islamic Sharia law, all forms of gambling are a no-go. They're officially prohibited. But the internet changes everything, doesn't it? In the digital world, that ban is basically being sidestepped. As more and more people get access to the internet and smartphones, they're finding ways to log on and get in on the action. And you might think it's all about one sport, but it's really not. Football is king, no surprise there. It's huge. But the variety is actually pretty surprising. People are getting into basketball, tennis, cricket, and even the absolutely exploding world of esports. We're talking League of Legends, CSGO, the whole shebang.
So with all these international sites out there, how do you even begin to choose, right? How do you know which ones are legit and which ones to avoid? Well, our source material lays out some really key things that savvy bettors are always on the lookout for.
And listen, it's about way more than just who's got the best odds. At the end of the day, it really boils down to two things: trust and just, is it easy to use, Is the site actually licensed? Can I use it on my phone without wanting to throw it against a wall? Is my money safe? Those are the questions that really matter.
In this chart, it paints a really clear picture. The data from betplace.us shows that the average rating for sites that Sudanese players can access is a 6.63 out of 10. So what does that mean? Well, it's just a little better than meh. It tells you there's a real mix of quality out there, and that's exactly why doing your homework and picking the right site is so important.
All right, let's move on and actually put a spotlight on some of the big names, the leading platforms that kept popping up in the data from betplace.us.
First up is a site called Melbet. Now, the sources we looked at consistently flagged this one as a really trusted site. So let's take a quick look at the stats and see why.
Yeah, you can see right away what's going on here. It's been around since 2012, so it's not some fly-by-night operation. It's got over 100,000 active users, a super solid 4.7 out of 5 score, and, this is a big one, it has apps that work on pretty much any phone you can think of: Android, iOS, even Windows. Okay, next up, we've got to talk about one of the real heavyweights in the game, 1xBet. I mean, this platform is an absolute giant on the global scene. And wow, just look at these numbers. They really do speak for themselves. We're talking over 400,000 active users, a max withdrawal that's huge, and an overall score of 4.88 out of 5. That is just incredibly high. You throw in cool features like a betting exchange and live streaming, and yeah, you can totally see why it's a go-to for so many people.
And another really popular option that keeps coming up is BetWinner. What's their claim to fame? Well, they're really well known for their welcome bonus. It's a huge draw for new players.
And check this out, it's super straightforward. Basically, you sign up, pop in a promo code, make your first deposit, and bam, you get a 130% match bonus. That's a pretty powerful reason to give them a try, right? Okay, so we've seen the big platforms, we've seen all the cool features that get people excited. But now we have to pump the brakes a bit and talk about the most critical piece of this entire puzzle, the actual legal reality on the ground. This right here is a direct quote from the FAQ in our main source, betplace.us. And look, it doesn't get much clearer than that. It says, no, both online and offline betting are illegal, period. There's no wiggle room. So that brings us to the million-dollar question. How on earth is anybody betting at all?
Well, the term that keeps coming up is legal gray area. And here's what that really means. People in Sudan are accessing these international betting sites, right? These sites aren't based in Sudan, and they're not regulated by Sudanese law. So by using tools like VPNs, players are essentially stepping into a space where the local laws just can't really reach them.
So let's try to tie all this together. How do you square this circle? You've got this very clear official ban on one side and this booming, vibrant online scene on the other. What's the bottom line? Okay, so let's break down the key takeaways. First, Online betting is super popular in Sudan, but it's officially illegal. So players get around this by using international sites, which puts them in that legal gray area we talked about. This means if you're gonna choose a site, you have to be extra careful about things like licensing and security. We've seen that big names like Melbet, 1xBet, and BetWinner are popular for a reason. They have a lot of features. But, and this is the big one, you have to remember that this activity comes with some pretty significant legal risks.
Look, what we've done here is give you the condensed version, the main points from our sources like BetPlace US. But if you want to dive deeper, maybe see the full list of sites we looked at, or just check out the data for yourself, we've dropped all the links for you down in the description.
And really, that's the big question this whole thing leaves you with, isn't it? As the digital world keeps making borders feel, well, kind of meaningless, you have to wonder, will Sudan's laws change to catch up with this new reality? Or is this digital gray area just going to keep getting bigger and bigger? It's definitely something to keep an eye on. Thanks so much for watching.